Today is Wednesday, November 19th, the 323rd day of 2014.
And you're listening to This and That on The Wire. Good morning, Norman, Oklahoma. Welcome to This and That. I'm Keegan, along with me always, my partner in crime, the Goondog millionaire himself, Jeremy Deere. This and That, we're on every Wednesday morning from 9 to 11 Central Standard Time, of course. Why? Because we live in the heart of America. That's right, Norman, Oklahoma.
Norman.
You can listen to us here on The Wire by going online at wire.ou.edu. That again is wire.ou.edu. But there's a few other ways you can go. You can also go on livestream.com/TheWireOU. But we would recommend you guys downloading the TuneIn Radio app on your tablets or smartphone. Simply go download it, and then on the search bar, type in your student radio to locate our station. So you can also do that on tunein.com. So if you don't want to download it, you can just go on their website. So make sure to do that. And we're doing a special callers edition here on This and That. So make sure to call us today. We'd like to hear from our listeners. That number would be 405-325-WIRE. 405-325-WIRE. And we will keep saying that over throughout the day. So make sure to call us. We'd like to hear from some people today.
Yeah, give us a situation, whatever you have, because we all know that the cell phones nowadays are nationwide calling. So
make sure also to give our Facebook page a nice big thumbs up. Facebook.com/this and that wire.
Thumb it.
Facebook.com/this and that wire. Not and, but and. If you are a musician or in a band, a local artist, a painter, a sculptor, anything cool in the Oklahoma City Metro, and you're interested in being on our show, please let us know. You can hit us up. We're always looking for talented musicians, artists, actors to provide us insight on the music scene, the art scene, any kind of scene. Plus, Jeremy and I were big advocates of local talent, so let us know. Tell your friends. Keep on rocking. And starting tomorrow, we are going to have the Toys for Tots Marathon. It's a 24-hour radiothon here with The Wire. Jeremy and I will be part of it, as will all the members of The Wire. We will be here at the studio, and we will also be on remote location at Hertz Donut off Campus Corner. So that starts at 7 a.m. tomorrow and ends 7 a.m. on Friday. So it's 24 hours. You can go to either here to drop off the toys at the Wire Union booth, or you can go over to Hertz Donut off Campus Corner. And word on the street is some people, if you're lucky, may get some donuts in exchange for your generosity for underprivileged children. So make sure to maybe just go buy like a cheap $5 toy or something for a boy or girl and drop it off.
Don't be cheap, man. Get them like something really good, man.
Yeah,
get them a bicycle.
Just go buy them a TV.
Buy them a four-wheeler.
Those little kid ones.
No, the big one.
Okay, with the helmet.
Yeah.
And the gloves.
No gloves.
No goggles.
Just boots and a helmet.
So make sure to do that. That's a very important thing here for us at The Wire.
Like I said, I'm going to be working the 8 o'clock shift there on location. I believe the 7 o'clock shift here in the studio. So either one, man. Somebody get out there early in the morning, go donate a toy. The third person I see dropping a toy, I'll buy him a 6-pack of donuts.
Yeah, I will be there. I'll be here at the Wire booth at like 11 p.m. and I think at 1 a.m. at Hertz. So I have more of a graveyard shift. But yeah, I might throw in a few donuts to some people as well if they are generous to Toys for Tots. So please, if you have the chance, if you're not busy, swing by, help us out, help out some kids who probably wouldn't have a toy this year if it wasn't for you. So thank you. So Jer, how you been?
Pretty good. I'm thinking Hertz Donuts thing. We should get some signed merchandise from us. You know.
Do you think people would come?
I don't know.
Are we famous?
Yeah, dude. Why not?
Or radio personalities?
I would show.
Yeah, you would show. You have to work there.
Exactly.
You're obligated to be there.
Hey, but if you swing by, I promise I'll try my hardest to get you on the air. Maybe sit down and interview with you. Waste some time. I mean, I don't want to sit there and just listen to music. You know me. I like to talk. We both like to talk.
I had no idea. No idea at all. So we have only a few more home games left here for football. We have 2 more home games.
Count them down.
Kansas is this Saturday, and it's 11 o'clock in the morning, so that's another 5 o'clock call time.
4, 5 o'clock, yeah, whatever. I got to be there an hour earlier.
Well, that's what I meant.
I'm tired.
Me
Like
too.
I don't mind it, but because we get out early, it beats
Yeah.
like being there until like midnight,
It beats getting there at noon and then leaving at 11:30 at night.
if that.
And then we have Bedlam December 6th, which is our last home game against Oklahoma State. And I know a bunch of my friends from Stillwater will be making the commute down here to try to rub it in our faces. But I don't think they're going to be enjoying it. They'll be having a sad, sad day going back to Stillwater that day. But that's snow day. How about that?
David Borden.
Coming in
I like
clutch,
the guy.
man. David Bourne coming in clutch. And this is my theory. That Monday, this past Monday, wasn't just a snow day. It was David Bourne's 20th anniversary of being the president of OU.
You know, I thought about that. I was like, man, I bet you this might hopefully have something to do with it because, I don't know, 20 years, dude.
Well, also what I heard is, so that Sunday night, I was hanging out with my friends, and one of them got a text message from another friend saying that they got an email, or they tweeted that school was canceled. However, the Daily picked it up that it was actually a student who reposted a tweet from last March when school got canceled. They reused it. So everybody thought school got canceled, and it was like 8:30 at night. People were all like, so I think out of obligation, President Bourne was kind of forced to cancel school. But I mean, hey, it was a good day.
No, I don't know. Like from what I get, school used to not be canceled as much. Like back when some people my age and a little younger came here,
Oh yeah,
they said like it was never canceled.
I never, going to high school in Alaska, I never had one snow day.
I thought every day was a snow day, like snow
Well, I mean,
everywhere.
it snowed, but the only time I ever got school canceled because of weather was when it was warm enough for it to rain and then froze overnight, and it was just ice.
You know, it
Just
was like
sheets of ice everywhere.
back in the 80s. It was like it used to snow a lot more here in Oklahoma, and I don't remember that many snow days. And then like in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, there was like hardly ever any snow at all. It iced over every once in a while, but we never got any snow days. I mean, not that I can remember. It seems like from what I can remember, it seems like there wasn't that many snow days. Like the schools and more just never. They always said if the buses can make it, we can make it. And I'm like, dude, I was never far enough to have a bus ride. You know what I mean? Like I always had to walk about a mile, maybe a 3/4 mile to school.
Yeah,
It sucked, man.
I lived like 2 blocks from my school growing up, and then it didn't really snow in Altus, Oklahoma that much. But when I lived in Maryland, it would snow like half an inch, and they'd cancel school for the week.
Yeah,
Man, those
I heard the East Coast is like
East
that, man.
Coast-
the South.
Yeah,
well,
like
that's on
the Atlantic, kind
edge.
of like Maryland south up
south,
to
yeah.
like Florida. They don't.
What about Georgia last spring when they got snowed in? They all freaked out and broke into CVS's and slept on the floor. And I'm like, dude, why'd you leave your house?
It's funny. I mean, all the accidents I saw on Monday though was astounding. I saw at least 9 accidents.
And
2
they were
of
all
them,
big trucks, right? Like the big
They were
pickup trucks.
No, actually, some of them were like Jeeps. I saw off I-240
But-
a Jeep on its back.
That's dumb because I mean, okay, if it's 4-wheel drive, I get it. Like you're pretty safe, dude. Like you pretty much, unless you're just driving reckless, you're not going to lose control unless you don't know how to drive.
No one knows how to drive.
But you
When you're-
people out there with the big trucks, I'm telling you.
They got that big boy complex. Ooh, look at my truck.
Well, I don't know what they think. I don't know the logic behind that, but I mean, like I'm watching these guys do 5 miles an hour. I'm in my little front wheel drive, just zooming, waiting for them to quit riding side by side, because it's like you're gonna drive slow. That you can't drive behind another person driving slow. You know, I mean, I don't know what the mentality is. Maybe that's why I don't own a truck, but if I did, it would be 4-wheel drive, and I would drive it in the snow. But if you don't have 4-wheel drive, dude, what's the point of like just stay home? Call in.
Luckily for when I was in high school in Alaska, everybody was forced to have snow tires during the winter months. So everybody was a lot better at driving there, I thought. And when I first started driving, the first time I actually drove was at night in the snow with ice, and that's how I learned. So, I mean, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to everybody. Just needs to drive slow when it's the weather is like this. But luckily, it's getting warmer. Hopefully, it stays like this for a while. because I hate snow with a passion. I can't stand it. I hate it. Hate it.
I like it. I mean, like it makes. I'm okay. Driving down the road normally is just kind of do. Okay, hurry up and get where I'm going. Maybe complain because there's slow pokes taking up both sides, both lanes going one direction. That's normal. But then whenever you add snow to the mix, it's like you got to be extra alert, and it's like extra. You know what I mean? I mean, it's there. It's like it makes you makes you more interested in driving. I guess that's what it is. It just gets me more interested in because anybody can drive, and okay, maybe not anybody. There's some people. Out
Yeah.
there.
I have some bad news for us, at least. It appears The Wire has retaken the lead in Facebook likes.
I've seen that, man.
Who the heck is doing that?
So I ramped up. And mind you, we're not telling our listeners to not like it because that's kind of like a
Yeah, it's
cheap way
kinda
to
rude.
win.
But
It's just a friendly little battle of likes, anyways. But it is awesome to know at one time. I think we're 9 likes away from them now. I kind of did
I think
little.
we're 5 from tying or 6 from tying.
Oh, so even more people. Yeah, I put a post on my personal page so people could kind of.
Oh no,
follow
we're
and
10.
like.
We're 10 down. They got 4 more people.
I know, man.
It's funny because I know who's helping them, and I can't tell them to
so
not
they got
help them. Well, they have The Wire. We at The Wire, we have like a promotions director who helps spread the word.
Oh, and their start. Oh, I didn't know that. I
Mhm.
just, to me, it wasn't a contest till now.
It's not a contest.
No,
but
it's a contest, dude.
it's going
I
to be
gotta
now.
win. We are winners, dude.
I'm gonna
We
start by
will win.
unliking The Wire page.
Okay, don't tell
No,
nobody,
I'm just kidding.
especially Mr. Franklin.
Yeah,
And,
don't tell him.
I unliked it, but I still follow them, so I get all their messages.
You're so stupid.
I did, dude. I did that like
I guess so.
about 2 weeks ago. Hey, listeners, don't unlike them and just follow them. That's not cool.
Yeah,
to
it's
do.
not cool. It's just for fun. The fact that we're actually in the competition for our own
With the station.
a station. I mean, it proves that we're trying, and it proves that we're actually trying to get people out there. 261 likes in a show we haven't even had for a full semester. Yeah, that's pretty good considering that a lot of the bands that we have on our show don't even have that many likes, and they're musicians. Like Spiritual Buzz at 70.
Dude, we're going places with this show, dude.
Hopefully,
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
No, is that where radio goes?
I don't think so.
Radio City
Isn't
Music Hall?
Isn't that Detroit?
No, Radio City. That's Motown.
Oh, that's Music City.
Motor Town.
That's Hockey Town.
Hockey.
So yeah, make sure to call us again, 405-325-WIRE. Please,
Special edition.
somebody call us. We're so alone.
Special
We're so
edition.
tired.
Bring us a situation.
Bring
We
us-
will solve it today.
We should be like one of those, like, who is that Jamaican lady with the
Call me now. Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo? Yeah, man. You are having the problem. Call Miss Cleo. Yeah, man. Ooh, man. Yeah. I don't know.
For you people that can't watch, he's touching himself doing that.
Ooh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, turn that camera right there.
Oh, yeah.
Our viewers, since we don't have a guest coming in. Oh, yeah. We got another angle. For
That's wrong one.
Oops, there we go. For our viewers, we have a better angle.
Yeah.
Make sure that you guys follow us on our individual Twitters too. Mine is at JIV3. That's like jive with the number 3. I don't really tweet, but when I do, it's very
drunk
interesting.
texts, drunk tweets usually.
It's very interesting.
Mine is at Mina. If you know my last name, it's just my last name. It's MEENAGH. Yeah, make sure if you're looking at our live feed, it's kind of cool. We're just waving and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't have a guest this week. Me and Jared.
You are our guest as a listener,
Yeah. So
Call
please
in.
call.
and
Yeah.
you can be our guest.
Jeremy and I, we are just swamped with stuff. There are not enough hours in the day to complete everything that I have to do.
Oh, I know, man.
I got to pay.
And I have a feeling next semester I'm taking 19 hours, dude.
God help your soul, man. I'm not.
Got to get her did.
I got an email from Erin today. I asked her,
Erin is our
our advisor
from
and
Gaylord.
she mentioned that you can take a 3-hour credit internship with anybody, and the requirement you'd have to do 240 hours at that place of business. So I'm going to email this guy. She gave me an email for it, to see if you can add not just the spring but the summer together, And maybe we could do something with Mr. Island Grill.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That guy's busy, dude.
I know.
And he's got a lot of things in the works, man. I mean, if you guys are looking for somebody to do some professional work, man, there's a lot of great people out there, and there's none better than what I could say is my executive producer, the one that helps me out with gives me a lot of work. But
Yeah,
look up Island Grill, man. It's a great,
Yeah.
it's a great thing, man. Shout out to Braxton and
Chris Turner.
Chris Turner.
He helped. He got us our Red Hawks gig.
Yep.
We've been there ever since. So big shout out to Chris because he's been our big in for a lot of stuff.
He's a good guy.
Since we while we were still in Rose State.
To me, he's like the big brother that I never had and never even thought about wanting to have.
To me, he's like
he's there.
like the other
He's
brother-in-law
bra.
that I never had.
He's the big bra.
my
Big bra.
father-in-law.
What,
No,
bro?
he's like the father-in-law I never had, or yet to have. Probably will not have. He doesn't have a daughter.
Father. That's what I was about to say. They're just Dylan Turner. What are you trying to say? Don't get creepy. Girl.
Yeah, he's gotten me been working at the Barons, Hockey Barons, which is really fun. It's an easy, relaxing job, and I love hockey. I'm a big hockey fan. Which, if you guys want to go ice skating anytime soon, please. I really want to go ice skating with anybody. I am in an ice skating mood. Jeremy, do you know how to ice skate?
Yes, I do.
Really?
It's like I don't have the ankle strength. I went for our friend's kid's birthday probably about a year and a half ago. And I think I could only be on the ice for like maybe 5-10 minutes. My feet hurt. They were like cramping up.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
When you skate, you're using muscles that
Exactly.
you wouldn't normally use when you walk.
Exactly, but like rollerblade never does that to my feet.
Isn't
Isn't that weird?
That is kind of weird because they kind of have the same premise. I guess there's maybe a slight difference with rollerblading.
I think they're a lot more fluid, like
Mhm.
on ice skates. There's not as much support because you don't have the big, huge like plastic, like exoskeleton boot.
So I was at work the other day and we were just chilling, and I decided to show some people at work that video of that I did when I sang Vanessa Carlton,
Yeah.
and they loved it. And I feel that we should show people,
Maybe Vanessa Carlton will probably get mad and sue the show.
just like she did last time.
in The Wire.
Yeah, there's a funny video of me back in my Rose State days. Jeremy and I, we had a lot of free time after class, and our professor would just leave, and Jeremy was the TA, so we had this whole studio to ourselves. So we did like sock puppet shows, very inappropriate sock puppet shows. There's a lot of swearing. We did interviews, like
You gotta tell them the whole story about the sock puppet show though, because there's a guy, Dairy Boy, that we refer to often, and I was actually had a big, long, drawn out conversation with him not too long ago about this whole thing where I said, as talent, like you didn't really, I mean, like everything we gave you, like you were so nervous on the air, and you could just feel the nervousness coming off of him, like he didn't know what to say, or he was unsure. You're listening, and we had this conversation. I don't want to be getting no messages from you saying, no, that's not the way it was, because that's really the way it was. But yet, the minute you put a sock on the guy's hand, he was golden.
It's
dude.
funny because
he was golden.
the first episode we ever did, we actually just took the socks off of our feet. And he had my sock, and it was nasty. And we got like a marker and put some fake eyes on it. And then when we decided to make more episodes, we actually went to Hobby Lobby and
spent $20 in
we
crafts.
we actually had an arts and
I
crafts.
still got
kinda,
the socks.
Where are, do
I
you
should-
have
yeah,
Mr. Wong?
Yeah, I have all of them.
We had-
I should turn around and like auction. We should auction these off.
We had the
Mind
main,
you, these are clean socks now.
our main character we had was Saki Sockerson.
Saki. You can look it up on YouTube if y'all want. I don't even think we should post the link because. Oh, you did? Did you?
I posted the link
Oh,
about
yeah,
me
okay.
singing. I didn't.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the.
We
okay.
could. I could show them. I
Oh
mean,
no, we'll
there's
see.
that
We'll see how many
echo on
shout outs. I put the shout outs on the page, so check your Facebook. All you got to do is like it, and we'll give you a shout out live on the air. So we'll get that started early. And again, back to the sock thing, dude.
Yeah.
If
We had Saki Sockerson, who was the main character. We had Dirty G, which was a
Dirty G.
black sock. He had
that's because I wear black socks. It had nothing to do with like racism. Literally, I have black
and
socks.
he had
I
like
still wear 'em.
he had like a gold chain and really faded eyes, barely any eyes. And then we had Mr. Wong, who was like an Asian.
Okay, go check it out. Look it up on.
It was bad.
We're not gonna make it easy for you to find.
We
but
were not in the right. I don't know.
The name of the show was Sock Happiness, so you can find it all on YouTube.
We based it off the hit MTV show back in the early '90s. Sock, was it Syphil and Ollie?
Syphil and Ollie. Yeah, that was
Ollie. Syphil and Ollie show rock. Hi, this is Paul Rogers. Welcome to Functions of the Family. I got it, family. I got it, function.
You guys got to check out on YouTube. You can look up Syphil and Ollie.
I didn't know about it.
There's a really, really awesome sock show. I wish it would have continued because mostly everybody that I know who has watched that show loved it.
And they have, if you go on YouTube, they have like I think all the episodes in like one giant video of Syphil and Ollie. But our show was nothing like that. We had a rinky-dink studio with two rinky-dink cameras.
If you guys know who Liam Lynch and Matt Crocco, Crocco, they're musicians, and they actually, one of them was, I think they spent some time doing comedian. Liam, I believe, did. I'm not for sure. You have to look it all up, but those guys are great. They're actually good musicians. They'd be really cool to have on the air. We might have to try to find them out.
You think we could try to find them, have them call us?
Yeah, because they're still doing things, but they're the creators and the voices behind Syphil and Ollie. And again, everybody I know that watched it was totally into it and enthralled. It's pretty cool.
It was a fun show. Another good show that you showed me was Wonder Chosen, which was like a kind of like a Sesame Street type kind of children's program, but it's very inappropriate.
You should see the behind the scenes stuff.
The hot dogs. Oh.
The behind the scenes stuff where like they're telling these kids to say things, and the kids are like, my mom said I can't say that, and they're like, no, you can say it. Your mom's right here. And then they look at their mom, and their mom's like, okay, you can say it one time, but it's only here. And they're like, no, I don't think I should say it. The producers are trying to coax these kids into saying inappropriate things.
Like that is why capitalism, and this is the, I don't know. They went off on these.
There was some bleep and stuff in there too that they had kids saying. That was cool, man. Those are like, I don't know why they don't do shows like that anymore, man.
Hey, look who's walking by. Omaha. It's Kyle Levesque.
What's the name of his show?
Good Morning Viet Norman.
Good
morning. And there's Scott.
Hey, you guys got to listen to Good Morning
Viet Norman. I believe it's on Monday mornings.
Mondays.
Kyle, is that right? Can you hear us, Kyle? Can you hear us, Kyle?
He's ignoring us.
Is he gonna come?
He's
walking in.
Oh yeah. Special guest. Cool, man.
Hey, Kyle, how you doing?
Kyle's here from Good Morning Viet Norman. One of
Guess we'll plug your show in.
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah. What we were saying though, Viet Norman. Dead air.
Yeah, Kyle. We have Kyle Levesque, our good friend. Hey, sup, Kyle?
Not much. Just walking through the Union.
Hey, what time is your show on Mondays?
It's 11 to 1 Mondays on the wire. Good Morning Viet Norman. My co-host Michael is with me.
Funny guy.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is a funny guy. We need to post a video of the sandwich. They have it. He has it up now. He has it up. Kyle Levesque made one of the funniest videos. It was so funny. The whole class was laughing for at least 10 minutes.
It was 6. Okay, the class was like at 10:20 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning, and it lasted 12. It was like 6 o'clock that afternoon, and I just cracked up and shook my head. I was like, oh,
and they
man.
were having some
Still
kind of
thinking about that sandwich.
They were having some kind of convention down the hallway, and we had our doors open, and people were just starting to walk by, and they were like, what are they laughing? It was one of those belly laughs that you were like, I don't know when the last time I laughed that hard before. It was that funny.
Yeah, my jawbone was hurting.
You guys are too kind.
It was easily
funny,
the funniest
dude.
video I have seen in
In a long time.
a long time.
So what are you guys talking about today?
Well,
A little bit of everything. It's kind of a special edition show. We're having some callers call in.
hopefully.
Okay.
And, you know,
No
Make
guest?
No,
our
not this
listeners
week.
are the guests. Ain't that right, listeners?
We,
Tell about all the calls we're getting.
we
pretty cool.
were unable to book a guest because of all the Toys for Tots stuff. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
what time are you going to be there tomorrow?
7 a.m.
So
Oh, you gotta
I
be
think
right.
we're
Shift.
I think we're trading spots.
Okay.
You'll be there at 7. I'll be
Yeah.
in here at 7,
Cool.
and
And
then
then I'm
vice
here
versa.
at 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bright and early.
Yeah, I was telling our listeners I'm gonna buy him a 6-pack of donuts. The third person that I see throw a toy in there, so hopefully
Okay.
I'll get at least 3. I was thinking 3 is a good number. You know,
Yeah.
third time's a charm. So maybe somebody wants some 6-pack of donuts for.
Do you
a
know
decent
what we're
toy.
supposed to be doing there? Are we just talking?
I think we're just gonna throw back and forth between the
Okay.
studio. I mean, we can play music. I'm not for sure. I like to talk. You know that. So it's gonna be one of those things. If you want to sit in here and chat with me, we could do that.
All right.
We do like a
works,
little
yeah.
mesh of.
Michael might join us. So
Oh,
we
that'd
could
be
have some
awesome.
Fun, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So what do you guys talk about? I walked on your show one time because you were talking mad-ish about our show. It was funny because I was writing a paper and I decided to just go and listen to see if who was whose show was on. It was Kyle's show, and as soon as I turned it on, all I hear is, "Yeah, we have another show on the wire called this and that. They got like 100 likes already. Don't like their show. Go like our show." And I'm like, "What the heck?" So I go on the live feed on the wire.ou.edu and I call them up, and they're like, "Is that Lynn?" And I call them and I go, "I hear what you're saying about my show." And I walked over to the union booth and I stared them down and I walked in on their show. Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Well, we start off every morning with headline jokes,
Which is
making,
really
like,
cool.
a nice pun, and then we go on for sports, which is we take like a sarcastic take on sports, so we like make fun of everybody. It's not too serious, and then
Hey,
we
did
have
you want some cans? We got
have
some
the
extra
triple
earphones here.
F. Oh, I'm good. We have the
Okay.
triple F, fashion, food, fitness, and your intro is like triple F, something like that, and then we roll with the movie recommendations.
Did you see Gone Girl?
No.
Don't.
I saw Interstellar though.
That's a great movie.
What do
Yeah.
you think about it, honestly?
Well,
Like
I-
story, plot
like-
line, special effects,
I
all
felt
of that.
well. I went to go see it at 10:30
Uh-huh.
after work, so I was pretty tired. So for me, they could have cut out like 40 minutes, but I really like the movie.
Hey,
Ooh, we got a phone call.
Keep talking.
So I'm gonna talk
I
to
wish.
Kyle.
I wish we had like more background info of what happened on Earth. You know, like why the hell, why did everything go to crap? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was a little long.
Yeah,
And it was all shot in film.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
normally they're doing it with the digital cameras now.
yeah. I saw. Did you see an IMAX?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw an IMAX. It was amazing. That was the first
Oh,
time I've
yeah.
actually been in an IMAX.
Yeah, it was. I saw Gravity in IMAX there.
See, I have not seen Gravity, but apparently
one's better.
everybody makes a comparison with that.
Yeah, both space movies. This one's better. You don't have to see Gravity.
So yeah, I saw Gone Girl on Monday during the snow day. Didn't like it.
Really?
And apparently, like the broadcasting and FMS guys that we know, they didn't like it, but everybody else kind of loves it.
Yeah.
And I've already gotten into some heated debates about the movie. It was a lot longer than I thought it should have been,
Right.
and it created what Kyle Burgess would like to say, false jeopardy.
Yeah. Oh, well, don't spoil the ending.
Okay, I won't.
But wow.
Uh-oh.
Man, the
Who was
phones are
that?
ringing off the hook. It's like what's those phonathons for OETA.
Oh, do they do phonathons?
Okay.
For what?
OETA?
Yeah.
Well, they get donations. All its donations.
What's OUTA?
The PBS station here in Oklahoma.
Oh.
Oklahoma
OETA?
Educational
Is it-
Television
Oh, I thought you were saying
Association.
OUTA. My bad.
OETA.
OETA. Okay. that
Yeah,
makes
PBS.
sense.
We have some friends from PBS, OETA, that we work with. Shout out to Jesse Carino and Carlos Manzano. I think his name is Manzano. Let me make sure.
I'm gonna look it up on Facebook.
Manzano.
You guys have a great Facebook page, by the way.
Thanks, man. We take great pride in it.
Yeah, ours is like 3 posts. I didn't even post that we weren't having a show on Monday, so no one knew.
Don't you know Lynn's listening?
Oh, he told us we didn't have a show, so that's why we didn't have a show.
Oh.
Snow day.
It was a fun snow day. I worked all day. at
Really?
Sooner Vision.
What were they doing?
I was just working on a video. I'm a volleyball video I was making. Who do we
That's
got on the
cool.
air?
We have your favorite man,
Oh God,
Mr. Dino.
Dean Daniels.
Yep, Dean Daniels.
Get out of town.
the radio legend Dean Daniels.
Well, Kyle,
are
I
you
guess
there?
you're heading out. You have a good
Yeah.
day, Dean. All right, Kyle.
You guys, you too.
Hey, thanks for stopping in, dude. Hey, Dino, you there?
I'm here, JD.
Oh, Dino, how you
K-Man.
doing?
Good, man. Good. How's K-Man?
K-Man is cold. He hates the cold.
Yeah, I'm not doing well in it either, brother.
I heard you moved to Belize.
Yeah, it's it was warm down there for a while, but I couldn't handle, so I had to come back to the polar vortex.
How's everything else going for you, man?
Pretty good. I've been up at the lab a lot here lately, helping Skip take apart the set, and
For our listeners, Dino is a major part of the Rose State broadcast program, and the ending result, however that's going to end, we're not for sure. How is that going to end? I mean, everybody knows that me and Keegan here, we both graduated with our associates from Rose State under the direction of Mr. Skip Leckness, and it was an awesome program. It was very hands-on, very thorough, and I recommended it to anybody that could have before its slow demise. It seems slow. How's all that turning out?
well, Skip is still teaching adjunct, and right now all he's teaching is speech.
Hmm.
How many
He-
people would you say he put into the industry?
Maybe hundreds. It's
Maybe.
probably in the hundreds over
Maybe.
35 years.
Yeah.
I think millions.
I think close to 1,000.
Yeah, that's probably not a far off estimate. It just expanded, over the years, and those people helped other people. And,
Exactly. I noticed it's like an unspoken fraternity. Like if you had the opportunity to learn or graduate under that guy. I mean he's what brought you and all of us together.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. He's next semester they're tearing out the humanities building. They're going to gut all the classrooms. They're doing that this semester to the social science building.
For those of our listeners who don't know, that whole corner of the upstairs building that he's speaking about was like a private little corner that Mr. Leckness had to himself.
Yeah, no one
and
knew about it.
Directed us and screamed at us and yelled at us and told us what he really thought of things.
He's like,
There were people that walked the campus every day that didn't know that was there.
I know.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of people that graduated from Rose, and they didn't know
everybody
all
thought
that was there.
Everybody thought that room that we were at was like a conference room because we had a little conference table and we would just sit there. And then in the next room over, we had the little rinky-dink studio. But now
Yeah.
it's no more.
Yeah, they're gonna gut the whole building and redo it just like they're doing social science this semester. And the program's changing quite a bit. It's becoming mass comm, no longer broadcasting. But Skip is supposed to continue to teach like an ENG class and a studio class.
Well, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm definitely going to donate a bust of Mr. Leckness.
It reminds me when we were all, you were president and I was vice president and Dean was the treasurer. We had two people in the club.
There's 5 of us all together.
And we took all the money to get pizza and stuff.
Yeah, and Risk.
Oh,
Can't forget Risk.
I have not played Risk since
Me
Rose
neither.
State.
Me neither. And I noticed you've been trying to get Risk together lately on Facebook.
Yeah, I think after you guys finish your finals or something, maybe we could meet up there and get a game together.
Hey, man, that sounds like a great deal.
Well, I don't know.
Siam shall not fall.
That's exactly right. We'd have to have the game somewhere else though, because when the semester ends, all of that'll be closed off. So we won't have access to the old conference table. He ought to take that table to his house.
We should just go to Skip's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, JD? How's Lyra?
Same old, rocking it on the radio now. So Lyra's doing great. She's got her a good place and found her a place where she's happy work-wise, and
Good.
everything's good. Everything's going good, you know. I mean, great for us and the show as well as individually. What do you think about the show so far?
I think you guys are great. I liked it a couple of weeks ago when you were on the Cox channel. You know, it was fun watching you guys.
Oh, you actually watched us. That's cool.
Hey, what channel is that anyway?
It's on several different channels. Let me go double check on where it was at. But we were on like Uverse, we were on OUTV, and we were on Cox. I think Cox.
Well,
yeah,
127 or
something like that.
126.
On Cox it says 124 is OUTV.
Okay,
but
124.
There's nothing on there right now.
Oh, it's just blank.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. You never know. We might pop up on there if they feel happy, but that's not our say. We just do our show and we enjoy what we do, and we also enjoy you calling in because you're our first caller. So it's good to know that we have people listening.
Oh yeah. I don't always get a chance to call in, but I love to listen.
Yeah. Well, Dino. Go ahead.
K-Man, tell Sarah Palin I said hi.
Once again, Dean, I've never met the lady. I have no relationship with her.
Well, you're from Alaska.
That doesn't mean anything, Dean. That does not mean anything. It does not mean anything.
That is all. Well, you're from Alaska, so you got to know her.
Yeah, see if you can give me an autographed T-shirt or something.
Why don't you just go get an autographed T-shirt? She's what? Isn't she in this state now? Isn't she doing stuff here at OE?
You know, that's what we call Keeganism. It's like everywhere he goes, a ditzy female takes over governor and ruins the state for everyone.
When did Mary Fallon become governor?
You should move to
What year was that when Fallon?
When you moved here?
2011.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I gotta move to.
You go. Where's the governor guy? Texas.
I can't move to
Move
Colorado
to
now. I'll screw everything up for them. What do you mean weed's not legal anymore?
Well, our good friend Caitlin, she went back to Canada. So I guess
Canadiza.
Where they got milk in a bag.
She actually did you see that picture?
No.
She posted a picture of that. She's like, "Oh, I'm finally back home." And showed the milk in the bag. For listeners, man, they actually have milk in bags.
In Canada.
I know.
What weird people.
Who would have thunk?
I hope she's not. I don't know where she lives in Canada, but I hope she's not right around Buffalo.
Yeah,
No.
she's north of there.
I thought she lived in Edmonton.
Isn't that?
That's in Alberta. Alberta's
okay.
Like north.
Really?
Like north of Montana.
I thought it was like Quebec.
No, I remember she was from Edmonton. That's in Alberta.
I'll message her.
Buffalo is on the northeast. That's like near Quebec and stuff.
Okay.
Why? What's going on over there? Is it just packed with snow?
Yeah, last night, the last 48 hours, the suburbs of Buffalo got like 60 inches of snow.
Just like the good old days.
There was a bus with 28 female basketball players from NYU that were trapped for quite a few hours. I never did hear when they got to them, but I sure by now.
I saw that yesterday. They were like there since 2 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I'm sure they got to them, but I never did hear when.
The most I've ever seen was 22 inches, and it was in April. And we still had school.
Yep, Ontario.
Wow.
She lives in Kingston?
Yeah, Kingston, Ontario.
That's like a suburb of Toronto, isn't it?
I don't know. Toronto's right there by
Toronto's,
Ontario Lake.
Toronto is in Ontario. I'm not Canadian, but, I mean, hey. Everybody thinks if you live in Alaska, you're Canadian. Oh, yeah, you can talk like this. And
see right there, New York.
Oh, I
guess. She is.
Well, that stinks. Sucks to be her.
She's
so what do
in.
you guys talk about mostly on the show?
Usually you, because it's behind your back.
We talk so much crap. Dean.
Yeah, we're like Dino, since everybody knows who Dino is.
His love of Risk and Sarah Palin and
his wonderful radio
Jeopardy
voice that we're jealous of.
And Skip in Norway.
Hey, we should have you do a couple drops for us, man. Some promo stuff for us.
Hey, be glad to.
Say Siam shall not fall on this and that.
Listen to The Wire, where they completely believe Siam shall not fall.
Okay, now say you're listening to This and That with Keegan and Jeremy on The Wire, your student radio.
You're listening to The Wire with Keegan and Jeremy on The Wire.
Okay, to say now you're listening to This and That.
You're listening to This and That.
Okay, I can piece that together.
Say, Dino is a cool guy.
Dino is a cool guy.
Say, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plains.
The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain.
Say, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Oh,
I don't think I can say that one.
Well, hey, Dino, man, it was great having you on here. We're going to cut to a little music break. Stay on the phone. I'll talk to you here in a sec.
Okay.
But you're listening to This and That on The Wire. How come it's not working?
Because it never does.
Our music don't work.
Is it working?
There we go. This and That on The Wire.
You're listening to This and That
I hope I'm normal. I think so.
with Keegan
Yes, everything is one. You have nothing to do with it. I am one with what I am.
and Jeremy.
I wish I could talk in Technicolor.
Only on The Wire, your student radio.
Apparently that lady was tripping on LSD.
Yeah, that was a housewife chosen to partake in a LSD experiment at the
Ew.
Veterans Memorial Hospital in California.
You didn't tell me that part. You just said some lady just took LSD at a veteran memorial hospital. Welcome back to This and That. Keegan Mina, along with me always, Jeremy Deere. On every morning, 9 to 11, Central Standard Time. We would like to reiterate that we are doing a Toys for Tots marathon starting tomorrow at 7 a.m. until the following Friday at 7 a.m. It's 24-hour. We'll be here at the Wire booth in the Union, as well as on remote location at Hertz Donuts.
Hertz.
Hertz Donuts. We're down off Campus Corner, near Chimmy's, near Fuzzy's, in that little corner area. It's amazing. If you haven't had the Jesus Donut, you got to go try it. It is heaven on earth. The Jesus Donut.
I promise it won't hurt at Hertz Donut.
But yeah, if you can, bring a few toys for some
Always
underprivileged
bring some
children.
toys, man.
You can drop them off at the Wire booth, or
Mind you,
can,
they have to be new, unwrapped, and unopened. I mean,
yeah, don't be that guy. Who, oh, this toy I haven't used in 17 years. Oh, it's missing an arm. La-di-da. Underprivileged children will thank me. No, don't be that person. You know, you don't have to put in a lot, maybe like $5-10, but you know, there's kids out there who aren't as fortunate as you and I, who will not receive any presents. So, you know, making a kid's day, especially during the cold months, it means something to somebody, and you know, that's good karma on your behalf. It's good karma for all around. So it can't hurt. I'm gonna give a toy. Are you gonna give a toy?
yeah, definitely. And I'm not doing it for the free donut that I was promised.
No, not me
But
neither.
just to show that, again, like I said, I'll be out there at 8 a.m. in the morning. Stop by Hertz Donuts, and I'll buy the third person who drops a toy in there during my shift a little 6-pack of donuts, half a dozen, half a D.
And those aren't cheap. Let me mind you, Hertz Donuts, they make specialty donuts, and 6 donuts. Heck, I will be the third person just to get.
You know,
those
I'm just trying to get toys for the kids, you know,
Mhm.
and to show that, you know, it's all about charity. It's about giving.
Yeah, this
It's
is
about that special little feeling you get when you
not-
do something good.
It's like all those Christmas movies. You see, son, it's not about getting, it's about giving. And that's the spirit of Christmas.
That's the spirit.
Have you started hearing the Christmas music?
No, I refuse to listen to it. I
Okay.
shut my little ear holes. You know, like rhinos have the nostrils that close. I have ear holes that do that.
Huh? I can't hear you.
Exactly. Let's get to some weather, man. We haven't done that yet. We're running behind because we're having so much fun today on our special edition. Make sure you call in 325-WIRE if you want to have something to say, give a little feedback. If you got a situation, we'll get to it and we'll address it on the air. back to the forecast. My 5-day forecast via weather.com for Norman says today will be sunny, high of 54, low of 30 degrees, 0% chance of rain with winds coming out of the north at 8 miles per hour, which will make it a little bit more chillier than normal. Thursday, we'll have partly cloudy with a high of 57, a low of 42. Again, 0% chance of precip. The winds will be east-southeast at 8 miles per hour, which is probably going to be the reason why it's warming up. Again, Friday, we'll have some morning showers, about 40% chance of rain. Winds out of the south-southeast at 10 miles per hour, which will probably make for a rainy day Saturday at the OU game. Make sure you bring your umbrellas and rain gear because it's going to be a 100% chance of rain, high of 60, low of 46. So it's not going to be too chilly, but it's still going to have a little bit of chill in the air. That water isn't going to make it any better. Winds out of the southeast at 14 miles per hour. Sunday looks like we're going to have 62 and a low of 38. Chance of rain will be about 20% chance. Northwest at 15 miles per hour. And that's your forecast for the day. We'll have a couple of news stories and everything ready for you after the break. Things like a teacher does horrible things to a rabbit in front of his kids. And speaking in an over-enunciated monotone voice can get you in trouble. And also, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nope, it's just drunk Hello Kitty. You're listening to This and That on The Wire. You know we're back.
As always.
This and That. We have our station producer, manager.
Boss, executive,
Yep.
vice executive, senior executive.
He needs some airtime. So without further ado, Lynn, go ahead, take it away.
Good morning.
Hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm well.
Are you observing us from your
Your secret
secret
lair.
cave?
It's actually not a secret lair. It's Gaylord Hall. But, and it's over the web too. Just watch the video coming from the live stream there.
Right
it's
there.
pretty exciting stuff. Say, I just want to check in with you guys and see if you guys celebrated Singles Day.
Wow, Lynn.
I can't.
I did not know.
I'm taken. I got a fiance.
Okay.
I gotta go on a date now, I guess.
Well, I'm just curious that Chinese holiday, November 11th, was apparently a pretty big deal.
Single? I've never heard of it. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, what's Singles Day?
Singles Day?
Okay, it's a holiday in China that's often referred to as the anti-Valentine's Day.
Huh. Does it mark like dating season being over?
No.
I don't know.
It marks all the Valentine's babies being born.
Maybe. But the idea is that this company Alibaba, the merchandiser, the online merchandiser that's in China, they apparently grossed $9 billion that day.
My
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
Yeah, Alibaba. I believe they've taken over as the largest company of
Over Walmart?
like growth wise. There's something they were in the news for a while about it.
Wow.
But no, I did not celebrate Singles Day, but I guess I can now.
Come in. Hang on one second.
Roger that, Captain. We're hanging.
Hanging on. No dead air.
Where's
no dead
that
air. No dead air. No
Jeopardy music?
Sorry, I just got corrected about National Singles Day. But anyway.
Fact error.
Wanted to check in with you guys and see what your position was on net neutrality.
Oh.
I'm hoping everything goes. I mean, I'm a consumer. I pay for my stuff at home. I'm a non-traditional student, so paying full price for something and then being tapered down just because I'm using another service through another service, I think is kind of BS. So I mean, I've been kind of following along, but I'm one of those conspiracists that think that big money commercialism and big companies kind of have more of a say than us voters do. So I'm curious on how this is gonna unfold.
Yeah, I believe that the businesses want it more going their way than we do.
Capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And the internet's been a great thing, but it should be one of those things that is access to everybody, and they shouldn't have nobody should have to suffer because of it and be forced to have certain things slower than others because of what service they use or what cable provider, what phone. It's just I feel it's more greed for those companies.
I believe it should all be neutral, but in theory, if it's not net neutrality, it'll be something else, and they're gonna find a way to make a buck. And if that's tapering somebody else's services down because you're watching Netflix or you're watching Prime online, and your cable TV provider wants you to watch their shows on their network and through their television cable, and then they're going to find a way. It's the name of business. It's about turning a profit.
Right. Right. Have you guys seen the Google Video Quality Report?
No, Lynn, we have not.
This is a thing that Google has on their website that when you connect to it, you can actually see what Google projects as your best possible video stream. And I'm looking at the one here on campus right now from my desktop, and it will only pull standard definition.
Yeah, I'm actually on that right now. It says that.
But you go to an explanation of maybe a faster web and some things like that, and an explanation of how video gets to you. It's really kind of enlightening that they would put that out there. I'm actually a Uverse subscriber, so I'm kind of interested in this net neutrality thing, because I believe that Uverse and Cox are both in the process of throttling things like Netflix and Amazon Prime and and a number of the other services.
I thought that that's what happened for the past 2 years on New Year's or Christmas Eve, because I don't know if any of our listeners or if you remembered, it's like the last two New Year or Christmas Eves, like Netflix has gone down. I mean, like people can't watch anything, can't stream anything, and then come to find out it was a technical issue. But that's kind of what I had always thought, that if it wasn't Cox doing it, it was another company. I mean, people are playing dirty. I mean, you look at the Chinese, that they have all these hackers just stealing stuff from our businesses, via the net. So
right. Well, the other thing too that I look at besides Google's streaming quality report is I look at things like from the actual providers that are kind of the connectors between these ISPs and the consumer and the distributor. So there's pipes that actually connect Netflix to Cox and connect Netflix to Uverse and Charter and the rest of the services. And a number of these companies, one of them is called Level 3, basically tell us a story that is one where, hey, we have the fattest pipes. Okay, we absolutely have the fattest pipes, and when we offload stuff to Uverse and Cox and the rest of these folks, it's like going from a fire hose to a swizzle stick. And so what they're telling me in effect is that there's this firewall in effect, and that firewall is erected by Uverse, Cox, Charter, the rest of these guys. And what that also tells me is that they're trying to manage their own internal bandwidth by restricting the external content coming onto their networks. And you and I, by the way, are paying for that.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like that. I mean, I'm a big conspiracy theorist, so I mean, it's one of those things. I think somehow, some way, it's all about the money. I mean,
yeah, obviously it's capitalism. Everything's about money now. There's very little just noble causes and anything anymore. But with the way the internet is now, the way it's part of everybody, with the globalization of the world, how everything's closer now than it ever has been, it's scary.
And it makes things more convenient, but at what cost?
There's always for every pro, there's a con.
Right.
And so I honestly wish that sometimes we didn't have the internet, because I feel we are too wrapped around with it. I mean, we're using it right now to look up everything you're saying, and to every aspect of everything that almost every college student here does is based on the internet. Our D2Ls on the internet.
And it makes things it makes the workflow go a lot easier. And I mean, and it's again a big thing of convenience, but I think eventually there's going to be some sort of breaking point between, how easy and convenient it is and what it's going to cost us.
Yep.
And with the way money is being switched from cash to plastic, I mean, everything's going to computers. And my biggest fear is one day, it's
Bitcoin's going to take off.
It's going to that too. Good God help us. But everything's going to crash one day, and we're not going to have access to our money or anything, because we all had it set to the internet pretty much. I don't know if you guys heard. I don't know if you're familiar with Snapchat. Are you familiar with Snapchat? They added this new thing called Snap Cash. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yeah,
so you can actually send money.
I was actually going to cover that as one of the stories, but I changed at the last minute because.
Well, it's from that company that that swipe. You can swipe your credit cards through iPhones and stuff, and what Hertz Donut uses as their. I forget what the company's called, but yeah, they're going through Snapchat now. That scares me. The fact that I can transfer money.
Well, the
from my
weird thing about
phone.
that is it's kind of like if Snapchat does that, then you can get all these X-rated people. You can basically pay them for their services, and it's going to be like a transaction that, isn't really controlled. And I mean, it's open. If Snapchat goes all the way through with that, which I think they pretty much have, it's going to open the door for a lot of perversion. I mean,
heck, our radio show is on the internet.
Yeah.
How ironic.
I know.
So here's a question for you. What if cable television had come second?
What do you mean?
After the internet?
Yeah.
I don't think it would have lasted.
Yeah.
There would have been no point. If you could watch everything on the internet now, there would have been no point really to have cable. For a vast majority of people, I guess. That's just for me as a college student. I guess you could say, because there's a lot of people.
Maybe there wouldn't have been commercials.
Ooh, that's an intriguing thought.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any friends or whatever watch television in Europe?
I actually been to Europe several times.
Okay. Have you watched any television while you were over there?
Yeah.
So tell me about that experience. Where are the commercials in those shows?
They all usually happen at the end.
Right. So you get all the content, and then all the paid-for stuff, if you will, the way it gets paid for, comes at the end. Okay, so you can sit there and watch the commercials, or go away to the loo or the John or whatever, to the fridge, and then when the next show comes on, if you're not on DVR, you've missed all the commercials, and you can just get back into content. What if all that content was provided at basically kind of a bulk rate? Because in the UK, for example, you have to pay a fee to own a TV, and you have to pay a fee to own a radio, even in your car.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know the exact workings of how that worked. I mean, I think it's kind of also like if like you pay for the box that you basically are renting from the cable provider. It's got your DVR. I don't mind that at all, because I can DVR all my shows and fast forward through the commercials without a hitch, no problem. And some of the stuff that I didn't DVR, I can catch on demand. And when I sit through the commercials, it's only like one or two little commercials versus a whole 4 or 5 minutes of commercials in between each break. So I mean, I don't have no problem with that whole concept of paying a tax in order to have a television, as well as paying a tax in order to have a radio, as long as it cuts down on commercials. The problem I have is if we pay that tax and we still end up getting bombarded with commercials and other such nonsense.
And believe it or not, we actually are kind of in that situation because there is actually a federal tax, like on your cell phone, and I'm not sure how it's kind of camouflaged in your internet bill, but you're actually paying a tax for both of those privileges. It's a federal tax.
I think it's like universal fee or something
Universal
like that.
service fee, I think you're
Universal
correct.
service
Yeah.
fee, yeah.
Yeah. And so the latest thing to come out of D.C. in that context is that they're going to try to up that fee so that children in classrooms have better network access, better internet access. So like kids in grade school and high school and so forth, and that's supposedly where that increase would feed into. That's where that would allow a revenue stream or a source of funding to come from to pay for that internet access.
That sounds like a good idea, but at the same time, I know for a fact that most kids end up not doing what they're supposed to be doing on the computer. I know I was one of those people.
Right.
I end up going on Facebook and stuff. And
Right.
And half the stuff, I mean, I know I have my age, I have friends with children, everything from junior high all the way down to elementary. And, you know, they're not watching any more media via television and internet than what we were watching. Mind you, we didn't have the internet, but, you know, there was times where we watched TV, like the Challenger stuff. I remember watching that as a kid in the classroom. And they don't, you know, get to watch any. I mean, they have more multimedia stuff online nowadays, but
Right.
I mean, what good is that going to do? I mean, you know, they haven't really developed that much more lesson learning plans in school. I think colleges and stuff like that, and your secondary schools ended up having more media and stuff, more media based learning.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you mention what kids are doing with the internet in school. I went and did some recruiting trips to high schools a couple of years ago, and invariably, you know, I would set up my laptop to do my presentation and try to get out to the internet or use the Wi-Fi within the building there, and my presentation website was blocked. Okay, for some unknown reason. I don't know why they would block Prezi.com, but you know they would block that. And not kidding you here, almost without exception, there was somebody in the classroom that would step up and say, "Hey, I can get you around that."
yeah.
And the kids in the high school already know how to get around the blocked firewall that's been set up by the ISD's IT people, you know, and it just cracks me up that people, you know, think for a minute that these kids are not savvy enough to.
Yeah, and
Yeah, my
I
high
remember
school, high school did that. We'd have kids who would send out proxies to all the kids so they could get through Facebook and Twitter and stuff,
Right.
and none of the teachers knew about it.
Oh, see, and I remember not too long. I don't know whether it was a company or whether it was a school, but I think it was a tech company, actually built a firewall and everything. I mean, secured a school, internet and everything, and they had the kids bust through it. And they said it took them like 15 minutes before they could get to Facebook and YouTube and all of that. And it was a learning lesson. I think it was HP. I might be wrong, and I'm probably wrong, but I know it was one of the big computer companies.
Right.
Ended up trying to, you know, set up, and it helped them build some of their servers and stuff that they maybe it was Cisco. I think it might have been Cisco. It helped them set up some of the networks and security that we have today. It was based all off of that. I want to say it was in Maryland, or maybe it was in New York. It was somewhere along the East Coast that they did that in.
Right. Okay. Well, I just wanted to jam your ear for a few minutes and join your show for a little bit, and encourage people to come out to our Toys for Tots Radiothon starting tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, Lynn. Thanks so much for calling. Actually,
Yeah, we
actually
appreciate
had
it.
a good time.
Yeah, we
You bet.
actually appreciate you calling in. It's our special edition of phone calls. So, you know, thanks for joining in and making it that much more interesting.
You bet.
Yep. Take it easy.
All right.
That was Lynn Franklin, our professor here for The Wire, our executive producer for The Wire. He is Mr. Wire. And he's the guy we're battling against to make sure we can get more Facebook likes. But yeah. Interesting. I'm glad he came to talk to us about net neutrality. If you guys aren't familiar with that kind of stuff, it's very important. It's one of the bigger topics that is going through legislation
Exactly.
in these days, and it's something that you should know about.
Look it up, man. It's stuff that's a hot topic, especially with the outgoing president. So look at where he stands, and whether you like him or not, there might be things he's for and might be things you're against. Look it all up, man.
It is interesting for me, probably more than you, to see. Well, I guess you in the same sense because I'm younger than you, but from when I started as a kid to where the internet's now, because when I was born in '93, so the internet was around, but it wasn't anything really. It was just something. It was brand new, and growing up as a kid playing on the computer till going to high school, that transitional phase of everything going from wired to wireless is quite astounding. The first iPhone came out when I was a freshman in high school, and that blew my mind. I was using a slider phone, a little flip phone for all of high school, and to see where we're at now here at OU to where it has been is astounding, and it's going to keep going like that. But people have to understand too, there's cons to a lot of the stuff that's going on with the internet. It's getting too close. There's too many wires connected to everything. You can pay your bills online. You can transfer money online.
Lyra didn't like any of that. I mean,
I don't either.
I mean, I get why. In your case and hers. I mean, like, just people are weird. Dude, I love it. I mean, like it's one of those things. I think I might see cash maybe two or three times a year. The rest of the time, it's all transferred and bills are being paid. And I mean, I'm collecting points, and things are working the way it's supposed to.
I just fear. It's just a big fear when everything is in one central, big, giant power.
But it's not.
But it's spread out through everything. If one country falls through some kind of bankruptcy or failure, everything else is going to fall.
Yeah.
Everything's tied in with one another, and it's everybody's too connected. And I wish sometimes we would just unplug some of the stuff.
Definitely. Everybody is too
connected.
connected.
It's not just with that, but it's with life. I just can't stand seeing kids walking throughout the campus looking down at their phones.
Oh, dude. In Spain, they actually put a PSA about walking and texting. That's how bad it's got.
It's a dangerous thing.
People are walking into busy streets and getting run over.
I've hit kids with my bicycle on the South Oval because they were looking down at their phones. They
you did it intentionally?
No, they were walking in the bike lane with their music on, their heads down, and they walk straight in. And I'm yelling at them, get out of the way, and they run into my path. And I said, you need to pay attention more. But we're becoming so focused in on everything electronic. Like, I love the internet.
I love Lucy.
I never was a big fan of that show. But
hey, man, changing up the topics. I did tease some news stories before the break, and if you want to get to those, we can.
Absolutely.
If
you guys want to continue this topic about net neutrality and the internet, feel free to call us at 405-325-WIRE. That again is 405-325-WIRE.
And I know all you people listening outside the metro area have cell phones that are free long distance. So
use
some of those daytime minutes.
I'm trying to get some Alaskan people to call us, but they're all asleep still.
Some Alabaskan?
Some Athabaskan, you mean?
I don't know.
But if also you can send us a comment on our Facebook page about your thoughts about net neutrality or your thoughts about the internet or how everything is. So feel free. But yeah, what was our news stories teasing? Were we teasing?
Well, before the break, I said a teacher does horrible things to a rabbit in front of his kids, the student kids, and speaking in an over-enunciated monotone voice can get you in trouble. And also, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nope. It's just drunk Hello Kitty.
I am not monotone at all, Jeremy.
You got to over-enunciate.
I am not monotone at all.
News. Gonna do some news.
An Idaho teacher kills and skins a rabbit, all in the name of biology. Yes, it did happen. The teacher's name has not been released. However, the student spokesperson, Allison Westfall, says the teacher did kill the rabbit in front of 16 students by snapping its neck. on November 6th at Columbia High School in Idaho there, in Boise, Idaho. The rabbit was then skinned and cut up in front of 10th graders. Westfall says the demonstration is part of the biological curriculum. Oh, it says it isn't part of the biological curriculum. She says the students who didn't want to view the lessons were allowed to leave ahead of time. So what does that say about those 16 kids that stayed to watch that?
I don't see any problem with that. They're 10th graders. Those are high school kids. If you had the choice to leave, if the teacher said, "Hey, we're gonna go kill a rabbit and skin it. If you do not want to see this, you don't have to."
It was all in the name of teaching about nature, life, and death.
And that's a valid. I mean, from my point of view, that seems.
But
justifiable.
do you want a teacher teaching about life and death, or do you want to teach your kids about life and death?
See, that's the thing too. If you're taking was it a private school or public school?
I just said it's probably a public school.
If it's a public school, you forfeit all rights of teaching your kids anything.
Yeah, Nampa School District.
The
so it's a
school
public
has
school.
the right to teach, and that's what another thing that I can't stand is parents who feel that schools are stepping their bounds with education. I mean, if you're not, I mean, I understand, not teaching like about religion and stuff, but there is nature, and you have to understand the life and death cycle, the circle of life, or whatever you want to call it.
It was also to show like where our food comes from and the process it takes
Exactly.
to get our food. Which, at a young age, I'd seen that with deer and whatnot. Like a deer was never a nice, furry, innocent animal to me. It was always food. And to this day, I still, when I go to the zoo and you go to the Oklahoma Trail and you see all those little white-tailed deer, it makes me hungry. I mean, literally, that's not a funny thing. Dude.
It wasn't
it's
like
deer meat.
it wasn't an obscure animal either. Rabbits are quite common food to eat. Skin. It's not like it was like a bald eagle or some endangered species. That I would probably be a little angry about if it was like a endangered species.
Would it make a difference if it was like a rural school versus Boise?
Well, Boise is kind of it's a city, but it's in Idaho. I mean, it's a very rural state. But it wasn't like they were fourth graders. I mean,
Yeah,
I can
they're
understand.
10th graders.
They're high school kids.
But
They're like 15,
even in
16
high
year
school,
olds.
like when you got to dissect the frog and you get dismissed from class because you don't want to do it, you're not snapping the frog's neck, are you?
I dissected a frog,
And it
a
was alive?
shark, and a cat.
Was any of them alive?
No. But at the same time,
I don't know. I mean, I totally agree with
it's
you.
an
I agree
interesting
with you. I agree
concept.
with you.
I mean, it's interesting to talk about. I don't see the problem in it because before, 80, 90 years ago, a lot of kids were probably snapping rabbits' heads, skinning them, and selling the furs to little ladies with fur coats and French pioneer traders in Canada. And I don't know. I'm just going off on a tangent. What's the next one, Jer?
Well, if some workplace problems happen because employees are only human, one New York City government worker got in trouble for virtually the opposite. He was suspended 20 days without pay, partly for answering an information technology helpline in a robotic voice. The Civil Service Commission upheld a suspension this month. An administrative law judge's report says the health department worker told callers, "You have reached the help desk," in an over-enunciated monotone voice, and callers complained, and one even hung up, later saying she needed to speak to a human. The worker said the worker said at a hearing he was following a call-answer script and articulating carefully because his Brooklyn accent can be difficult to understand. The judge called him a disgruntled employee acting out, and his lawyer called the situation exceedingly harsh. What do you think about that?
Well, I obviously have to hear it. I mean, there seems to be a.
Have you never done that?
You've reached the voicemail box of.
I do that just for the heck of it. It's like,
But if
hello, I'm currently unavailable, but if you please leave your name and number after the beep. And I'm really sitting on the phone saying that.
I'd have to hear him personally, but he seems to have a very
I
good
think
case if he's got a thick Brooklyn accent and trying to over-enunciate things just to make sure because I'll tell you what I can't stand is when I can't understand when we call like those telemarketers or those people when you call like Xbox and they send you to India.
Yeah.
And I don't understand a word they're saying. I'd rather have somebody who's over-enunciating and actually makes perfect, clear sense than someone who I cannot understand and have to ask to
I always
repeat
think it's
themselves.
funny whenever they get an attitude with you.
How do you do this? Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Like, where are you from? I am from my mother. Where are you from?
And their name's not Charlie or
My
Dave.
name is Dave.
No, that's a lie.
I don't know. Gurampur. Gore, Maine. Police say a Maine woman who was pulled over while swerving down the road. She got stopped because she was suspicion of drunk driving. She just so happened to be wearing a Hello Kitty costume. Gorham police officers say stopped 37-year-old Carrie Gibson. Gibson, that's with a P. That's a weird way to spell that. Of Westbrook about 2 a.m. Sunday because she was driving in the wrong lane. They say she refused to take a breath test and was arrested for operating under the influence. She was taken to Cumberland County Jail. Her police mugshot shows her wearing the red and white Hello Kitty costume, minus the doll's mammoth head. So she was wearing the mammoth head. That's one heck of a weekend, man.
I wonder if they had a snow day too. Huh.
That's probably why. It's probably why it was. Dude, don't drink and drive.
We are big advocates of that, and we'll talk more about that during our beer of the week segment.
I'll post all these stories as we go on. I got some more news, man. Just keep it going because we're on a roll today. Maybe I don't.
So
Next story. Okay, Atari games buried in a landfill net $37,000 on eBay.
You got to be kidding me.
No, they literally dug them up because they knew they were there. Yeah, it cost a couple $1,000s to dig them up. But in Alamogordo, New Mexico, someone called the worst video game ever made. The worst video game ever made has fetched thousands of dollars for a New Mexico city.
If it's an Atari game, worst game ever,
You
it's
know
got
what
to be E.T.
Exactly.
It has to be
E.T. finally came home. The old E.T. extraterrestrial game cartridge drew the highest bid amongst 100 Atari games auctioned on eBay by Alamogordo officials. The games were part of a cache of some 800 Atari video games buried more than 30 years ago in a landfill and dug up in April. Joe Lewandowski, a consultant for the film company that documented the dig, says the online auction, which ended Thursday, generated $37,000. The E.T. game, still in its original box, sold for $1,537 to a buyer in Canada. The interest in the games has gone global, according to Lewandowski. Online bidders from other countries, including Germany and Sweden, snapped up the items. Earlier this month, a museum in Rome opened an exhibition on the dig that includes dirt from the landfill. It was actually since it was a city landfill, the city got to keep all that was in there because all that was thrown away. So they knew where they were. They dug them up, and there's actually a documentary that's supposed to be released if it hadn't already been released on the whole thing. So, something for you guys to look up out there as listeners.
Yeah, I realize, really, if you have the game in its original box, it is worth a lot more than if it's not in the box. Like, I would go on Amazon and look up Nintendo 64 games because I still have my Nintendo 64. And the game in the box, they can average like $400 to $800. Whereas if it's without it, it's like $20 to $50. But it's an interesting concept how much that box really makes a difference. But yeah, E.T., not a good game. It's really, really, really bad. I actually never had an Atari, or I had a Nintendo 64 as a kid, and I still have the original box and everything. But it's not working as well as it used to. Granted, it's like 18 years old. My goodness. I got that thing in 1996, Jer.
Your Atari?
No, my Nintendo 64.
Oh.
I got it because my parents bought it for me because of my bad eye. I was going through a lot of eyes. I had to go visit the eye doctor monthly and have eye surgery and stuff. They were very nice. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
And Prattville, Alabama.
Prattville.
Dogs, with the best intention of being your best friends, don't always do you good. And in this story, a man finds that out the hard way. In Prattville, Alabama, police say a man's own dog helped the officers bust him on a drug charge. Prattville police spokeswoman Paula Barlow says the pooch named Bo followed his fleeing master, who was being pursued by officers. When the dog stopped and wagged his tail in the tall grass, she says the officers found and arrested Edwin Henderson. Barlow says the chase began when the two drug officers arrived Wednesday with a search warrant. Henderson took off running. After an investigator pointed at Henderson's dog and told him, "Go get him." That's exactly what Bo did. Barlow says Henderson is charged with failure to obey police, manufacturing controlled substance, and all these other drug charges. It's unclear if he has an attorney, but there's no word of who's taking care of poor old Bo.
Poor Bo.
That's all the cops had to do is say, "Hey, go get him." That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Sometimes man's best friend turns on man.
Oh, man. What kind of a best friend is that?
Kind.
Hey, make sure
You know, Bo.
know when to not.
That's,
Let's, where is it? I lost it.
we're gonna look for the shout-outs, Jer.
There we go. Shout outs, man. Amanda Wolf.
Amanda, she is almost gonna have that kid. She's like 30 weeks in. It's like what? 30 weeks is how many months? Divided by 4, carry the 1.
She's going to pop. That was it. She has a baby. Dean Daniels. He's going to have that kid.
With Sarah Palin.
Looks like we got Angel Joy Burke. I tried to get her in on the show today. She's off in Purcell training horses, doing what horse trainers do best. Carlos Manzano and the notably awesome Jesse Carino.
Our OETA friends.
Oh, yeah. And guess who else is listening to us?
Skip Leckness. Dairy Boy.
O
Nick
is
Von Bush.
Dairy Boy. O is Braxton.
Braxton.
Braxton,
But
yes.
Mr. Kenneth Pletz, obviously.
Kenneth Pletz. Always a standing shout out to that guy. And Rodrigo Serrano.
Rodrigo from the band
Thanks for
Limp
listening,
Wizards. Yeah. Thanks for listening.
I wish we had that beer ditty you guys did, but it's
Beer,
officially
beer,
lost.
Beer. No, you're thinking of Spiritual Buzz.
Oh.
This is Limp Wizards.
What did they do?
They were those guys. That put the
Oh,
little,
yeah. There's the guys. Thanks for the sticker.
yeah. I got it on my laptop.
It added a swag to the place.
Swag.
Swaggerts.
Swag.
Oh, and shout out to the Swaggerts. You guys know who you are.
Yeah, and to the
Xanadu.
squad. Shout outs to the squad, to the Swaggerts, to my friends and family. My 93-year-old grandfather will be here in Oklahoma City tomorrow from upstate New York. 93 or 92. 92 or 3. Man was a cop in the Bronx for like 30-something plus years. His father was a cop. My uncle was a cop. My cousin was a cop. My dad joined the Air Force. He was smart. He got out of there.
Shout out to the Minas.
Shout out to the deers and the whites, the white deers,
No, that's my
the
mom's name.
Otomazuras.
The Kickapoo.
Shout out to the shout outs. Hashtag swag. Hashtag to all of the bays out there. All the thoughts, all the love, all the joy. Shout out to Chase O'Hara, because I have to, by obligation, give him a shout out.
Dairy Boy.
Dairy Boy.
Beer.
Thug Life.
Thug Life.
Thug
Man,
Life. I saw him last week.
if he's listening, dude, I'm just going to tell you, you know, all the people that I got reviews from the show that I normally go to because it's a decent range, they all love that guy. They said we should have him on more often.
Really?
Yeah. And that's about 8 different people I talked to after the show.
80?
8.
Oh.
And they're all different.
I would
people.
hope so.
You know what I'm saying? They're not like
8 people that are the same.
That's our 8 listeners, man.
Let's see, there's Ken, there's Dean, there's
Sonic
Terry
Lizard,
Boy,
Jimi Hendrix,
uh,
beer. Shout out to God.
you're the real MVP. So, yeah, I don't know what to say now.
Let's go to a quick song. Is there something quick we got going on here?
We got a little bit of Two Door Cinema Club we could play.
How short is it?
It's less than 3 minutes. You want to play it?
Go ahead, man.
All right, cool.
You're listening to This and That.
On the Wire.
No, you're not.
Yeah. This and that. Break it down now.
Oh yeah.
Baby.
You listen to Quiet Hour on This and That.
We're gonna whisper
Your
now.
host, Jeremy.
I'm Keegan. Hey, how's it going? If as a friendly reminder Toys for Tots Marathon begins tomorrow at 7 a.m. until Friday morning at 7 a.m. You can donate your toys here at the Wire booth in the Union or on location at Hertz Donut off Campus Corner.
Make sure you join our show today by calling in at 325-WIRE. That's in the 405 area code.
Right
So,
on, right on.
Give us a shout. We'll put you on the air.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you.
Talk to us about
yeah.
things.
Talking
About verbs and adjectives, adverbs and nouns. Nouns.
Because we're totally unfiltered today.
We are The Wire, your student radio.
That's not unfiltered.
This
On the air.
and that. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of unfiltered, it's that time. Beer of the week. Beer of the week. Beer of the week. Beer of
the
week.
One of these days, we'll have a really good ditty and we'll play it. Until then, it's a cappella.
I believe this beer of the week comes from our special call-in guest from last week's show, Jackie Trecco from Benedictine's College in Kansas.
Shout out to Jackie.
Shout out to
all the Benedictines.
all the I forget what
is their mascots?
it's like an eagle or a hawk or a falcon or something.
Eagle Hawk.
Falcon.
We are the Eagle Hawks.
We're the Falcon Hawks. But yeah.
She suggested, and you guys can too, by simply messaging it, commenting on the Facebook page, a beer of the week, like we suggested Dino do. And you can be the one who chooses our beer of the week, and we'll give you a special shout out, just like we did Miss Jackie, and just like we did Braxton, and just like we did Dairy Boy. She told us that her favorite beer is Unfiltered Wheat Beer by Boulevard Brewing Company. Boulevard Unfiltered Wheat Beer is a lively, refreshing ale with natural citrusy flavor and distinctive cloud appearance. This easy-to-drink American-style beer has become our most popular offering, the best-selling craft beer in the Midwest. I'm not too big in craft beers.
I like craft beers quite a bit, actually. Maybe it's because I'm younger.
I think it's because they're not refined. And, like, you know, one batch of Boulevard Wheat will taste different than the next batch.
Yeah.
And I like consistency.
Yeah, that's why we get Killian's all the time on
Yep.
draft. I like Boulevard, but I only get it if they don't have Blue Moon or
I don't mind wheat beer.
what's the other one?
I've always said it's a good summer beer.
What's the other wheat I like? Shock Top. Or I usually go to the local bars here that have the brew house beers. The brew house off Main Street has its own microbrewery, and I prefer their wheat over most other wheats. But that's just me, you know.
I just need some quality assurance. Some assurance that it's going to be the same.
Well, I need
I'm the type of person, like, no matter where I go, I'll order the same thing no matter what.
Yeah, like me with chicken nuggets.
Like, name a restaurant and I'll tell you what I get there.
Ted's of Beverly. No, Ted's Mexican.
Ted's Escondido.
Yeah, that one.
Chicken enchiladas.
Um,
Fried rice and beans.
O'Connell's.
O'Connell's. It depends on the day. But I generally will get the pub club. The All-American Pub Club.
Oh, I could go for one of those right now. Where else do we go? Where else do you like to eat? I don't know. I only go to
Arby's, the roast beef and cheddar. Not the giant, just the regular. Curly fries with cheese. See, I everywhere I go, I got a specific thing I do, and that's why I like regular non-craft beers because, you know, I'm guaranteed to get the same thing.
My dad's not big into craft beers either. I guess they're relatively newer than other like beers. All these like wheats and chocolates and all these different things, but alas, I'm merely a man in this radio booth with another man.
Well, we have that goes without saying that if you decide to drink and find out what your favorite beer is, make sure that you keep drinking to being about having fun and not about getting drunk. Because why?
I don't know why. Why, Jeremy, are you okay? Jeremy, answer me. Well, actually, I'll answer. Don't drink and drive, obviously. It's not smart. It's not the right thing to do. And, be responsible about if you're underage, if you're overage, it doesn't matter,
Yeah, nobody can afford a DUI.
No one can,
It's
especially
expensive.
in this day and age. College town, they're going to get you. They're going to get you with those DUIs. So
It's an easy go-to for the police.
And the police here in Norman, they will track you, they will find you, and they will arrest you.
But you know what? There's a safe way to make sure you get home. You know what that safe way is?
Is it the Safe Ride program we have here at OU?
It's the Safe Ride program we have here at OU.
Huh.
For those of you who are students listening to us, and those of you standing around the student union outside the booth, make sure that you go pick up your Safe Ride vouchers. Go just west of the union here, the little booth where we're at. It's in the Conoco wing of the Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, Oklahoma Memorial Student Union. Vouchers are made available from Monday through Friday from noon to 7 p.m. And they are good for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The way to use them is just come by the Oklahoma Memorial Student Government Association offices located in the Conoco wing, and room 181, Monday through Friday. Pick them up, and you got your vouchers, and you're good to go for the weekend. Bring your student ID to verify your current OU student, and you will receive your wallet-sized voucher. When you are out Thursday, Friday, or Saturday evenings from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., use the voucher for a free, safe, non-judgmental ride. So if you're missing a hill and your hair is all tangled up and your makeup's running, they won't judge you.
Yeah.
They don't hate.
They will give you 3 of them. You can actually you'll get one for Thursday, Friday, and
So
Saturday.
you can lose the other heel. You can still look all mangled up hair. And you can have your running makeup and mascara, and they still won't
You
judge
don't
you.
even have to be drinking to use it.
They won't judge you 3 times.
They will judge you only none times.
Exactly, because it's a non-judgmental ride.
Word of advice from somebody who has used it. If you plan on using it, make sure to call about 45 minutes to an hour in advance, especially on the busier days like Friday and Saturday.
It takes a while for them to get to you.
Yeah, they got other people too, people who are actually going to pay. And I remember the first time I used it, I called them and I tabbed out and everything, and I waited for like 45 minutes, an hour, when I could have just called someone else.
So don't make it like a spur of the thing, like, oh, I'm too drunk. No, man.
And Jared, isn't it correct that some of the local bar establishments here, they will chip in and get a cab if
I've
you
been
need
told unofficially that, if they see that you've had too much, there's a couple of bars out here that will pony up the cash to make sure you get home safe, because they know if you get arrested and whatnot, then you're probably not going to be back to their bar anytime soon. So they like to take care of their patrons, and in doing so, they want to make sure you get a safe ride home. So if you ain't got your voucher, if you ain't got no voucher,
and you ain't got no wife, then come on down the wire. Come and listen to our show.
Oh, man.
We should talk for the rest of the show in country accents.
Ain't got none.
The Oklahoma is where the wind is sweeping down the plains. And I heard through the grapevine that your show is a really good show, Keegan and Jeremy. And I tip my hat off to you guys. I'm a big fan of your show. And I'll do that Safe Ride Voucher program. Oh, thanks, random cowboy that walked into our radio booth. You're welcome there, Keegan. You're welcome there, Jeremy. You're listening to that why you're student radio. I don't know what I'm doing, like a cowboy Elvis. Hey.
Baby.
So,
Well, we're waiting for our next caller, and while we do that, we'll sit here.
in silence. Call us. Make sure to call us 405-325-WIRE. 405-325.
We've already got 2 calls. That made our day successful.
Thanks, Lynn. Thanks,
Thanks,
Dino.
Dino.
We should call Skip.
He might get mad
Why?
because he's very high
Strung?
strung.
Huh.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Who was he gonna do? Beat us up? Not let us graduate? Threaten us with an F on our capstone? Like
No,
he
but
did
he'll
with me?
threaten you with your life because that's what he does.
I think I got
That's
hit.
his rapport.
I think I
with
got
you.
hit more than he hit his own son. Not in an abusive way, but in a You're really pissing me off, kind of way.
You
Skip
too.
likeness. I'll tell you.
The man's a legend.
Lynn doesn't want us to talk about bars anymore.
Well, we just did our PSA.
Yeah. It was our PSA, Lynn, about drunk driving. Don't do
we're
it.
Taking advantage of.
Safe ride.
Safe
that's
ride.
our PA.
Safe ride,
That's our
that's our
weekly
PA.
PSA. Sorry. We do like alcohol.
But we don't condone its misuse.
No, we do it for relaxation purposes. But yeah, make sure to call us 405-325-WIRE. Make sure to go on our Facebook page. Give us a big thumbs up. Facebook.com/ThisInThatWire. That again is This and That Wire. Not and
The
with the letter
Wire.
N.
The Wire and This and That, as well as all the rest of the shows that are featured here on The Wire, are teaming up with Hertz Donuts.
Yeah,
So make sure you come out. When are we doing this?
Toys for Tots. We're doing a Toys for Tots radio marathon.
Radio marathon.
Starting 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, Thursday, till 7 o'clock Friday morning. So we're going to have us, Jeremy and I, we will, as well as all the members of The Wire, will be partaking in this event. So if you can, please donate a toy for a boy or girl, either here at the Wire booth in the Union or at Hertz Donut off Campus Corner.
And I'm trying to talk Keegan into showing up on mine, and I'll be out there on his, so we can
So
get some more of this
early.
and that.
This and that. You want some double dosage of this and that. I know you do.
I know, dude.
Honestly, you do.
We can this and that all week long.
So make sure to, and word on the street is maybe Jeremy and I, we might pitch in a few half dozen things of
I will
Hertz
do a half
Donuts
dozen.
if
To
you
the third person I see with my own little peepers.
But don't try to manipulate it so he does
Yeah,
it.
it's got to be unwrapped because I want to make sure that it's a real toy, and I believe that that's part of the stipulation for donating toy.
I was just giving them wrapped plastic bags.
Yep. Plastic box of nothing.
That's a good question. Should they be? They shouldn't be wrapped, should they?
No, that's what he said. Unwrapped. That's what.
Yeah, don't wrap them.
So PSA says unwrapped.
PSA.
Unused, unwrapped. Because we want our unfortunate kids to get new toys. That's what we want.
Unused, unwrapped. Unused, unwrapped. Unused, unwrapped.
That's the sound a beard makes.
Speaking of which, your beard's looking pretty good for No Shave November. So most of it, it's the longest I've ever
ready,
seen it.
I'm ready to shave it, man.
We only got what? 11 more days? You can last 11 more days, can't you?
11 more days. I don't know if Lowry can last 11 more days. I caught her last night. I woke up and she had a straight razor hovering over me.
And it's like, dun, dun, dun,
And I'm like, where'd you get the straight razor? I never
She's like,
know.
don't ask these questions, Jeremy.
She says, shh,
And
go
then
to
he goes,
sleep. Go to sleep. It's just me, Jeremy. She says, it's just me.
I probably would kill somebody who would try to do that to me. That's not cool.
Like, wake up and hover over you.
I guess. I think we should play a song by Spiritual Buzz. What do you think?
Hey, man, let's do that. And then we'll come back. We'll have a couple other little thingies here.
Ditties. You're listening to This and That on the Wire, your student radio, baby. That's right, you dig.
It's the show that ruins your college experience.
Keegan and Jeremy, you guys suck.
This and That on the Wire, your student radio. This and That on the Wire. I seen something with a pineapple. Was that SpongeBob? We're the Wire. We are the Wire. We got a top 10 list that we normally do, and we tried to scrounge for things to talk about and things to, look up and say. Our top 10 list this week is one-hit wonders who were strangely influential in pop culture history. Some musical artists remain famous for years as persuasive elements of our culture. The Rolling Stones and Beyonce come to mind, and other artists release I'm Too Sexy or Take On Me and immediately stop being relevant. finally, there are the few one-hit wonders who influence entire genres with their single moment of fame. Though they fell from fame, their influence lingers on in countless musicians, and they open the door for others. Let's go with number 10. Number 10 is Whip It by Devo. Most people remember Devo, those silly white kids who wore futuristic dog bowl hats and yellow hazmat jumpsuits while yelling whip it good. While their 1980 hit Whip It is an undeniable pop classic, and the pre-50 Shades of Grey S&M music video still entertains. Devo gave us so much more than that. And that's why they're our number 10. Number 9 is, and I'm pretty sure most of the people my age are going to totally love this one, because number 9 is from Biz Markie. You guys know which one.
You got what I need.
Exactly.
But you say he's just a friend. But you say, oh, baby.
You know, and I've heard people say that he was like special.
Like special?
Like,
he was gifted?
No. The other gifted.
Oh.
No. No, he was like slow.
Oh. Wow.
But I don't believe it, man. I mean, like, to come up with some of the rhymes that he did and to be the human orchestra was what he was known as.
It was a good song.
Yeah, that was one of the, I think that was the third song that I ever downloaded was
Biz Marquis,
Yeah.
Just a Friend. I
From
remember
Amazon.
first time I actually heard it was on I Love the 80s. It was on I Love the 80s.
I remember hearing it on the radio.
Well, I wasn't
I'm just
alive.
kidding. I remember that. And then, was it Spring Again? That was a good one by him. Number 8.
I haven't heard of this guy.
Me neither.
Eddie Brickell, What I Am. Must have not been that good of an influential guy.
You good listeners that are older than me. Eddie Brickell, What I Am. Pop music from the 1980s. It was said to be polarizing. It really depends on how much you like Hairspray and vamped materialism. Quiet Riot, Come On,
That's
Feel
a
the
good
Noise.
song.
I remember one time waking up to this. Me and my roommate was both my best friend. We were both, sleep on the couches from the night before, and like the music was still playing, and then all of a sudden this comes on, and the drum beat starts in.
Come on, feel the noise.
Yeah, dude. Like my hand just went up in the air. It was awesome, dude. Great way to wake up, dude. Especially with the hangover.
You know when you go to like the like Walmart and stuff, they have that little like those CD collections where you can push and hear the demos.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever remember hearing that song. Digital Planets. That's very
Diggable.
Diggable.
Planets, yeah.
Digital. I would say digigible. They're
it's
very.
Diggable.
They were like a
Rebirth's
kind of
'cause I'm cool
spoken
like that.
word,
I'm cool like that.
jazzy
cool
kind of
like
'90s
I'm
band.
cool like that. Dude.
I'm cool
They were
like
cool.
that.
I like that song. As a matter of fact, I don't have that in my. I'm gonna have to download that when I leave here. The New Radicals. You get what you give, and I always hear them play the opening to this on like those VH1 shows.
Yeah. I don't know. Faith No More.
No, that is
Yeah.
awesome. That is an awesome show. I'm gonna make an opener with that.
We didn't realize we were about to run out of time.
I know. Number 3, Gary
Oh,
Newman's Cars.
Here in my car, I feel safest of all. Oh, that's a good one. Thomas Dolby. She
Number
blinded
2.
me with
You
science.
know it.
She blinded
And our number 1.
Oh, yeah. Question mark in the mysterious. 96 Tears.
I don't remember that one.
That was from the 60s, man. Oh, late 70s, early 70s.
Oh, that one. Okay.
96
okay. Make it stop.
Tears.
Make it stop.
96 Tears.
That was our top 10 list, and thanks for listening to this and that.
It was an interesting show. Oh, somebody would call now.
Keep talking.
I'm going to talk about random things. So, guys, thanks again for listening to us. As always, I'd like to thank my family, my friends, my parents. Got Got to give some shout-outs again to Chase O'Hara, Dustin Daigle, Kenneth Pletz, Braxton Snodgrass, Chris Turner, Jesse Crino, Carlos Manzano, Lynn Franklin, Dean Daniels, Megan Zucala. I'm trying to think of all the names of people who listen. Daniel Lyon, Spiritual Buzz, Limp Wizards, Headbutt, the Hit Boys, which I'm still trying to get on. If you guys would like to come on our show, Hit Boys, let me know. Jeremy's on the phone with someone. I don't know who he's talking to. It looks kind of, he's maniacally planning something. We only have.
Well, I don't think we have time. I'll let him know.
Oh, well, we don't have time for this person. But I mean, hey, that's what happens, right?
Blow up the Facebook page with that too.
Jeremy's just going off.
Okay.
But yeah, remember, Toys for Tots Marathon starts tomorrow at 7. And, yeah, so thanks again, everybody, for listening. This has been This and That on the Wire, your student radio. Tune in next week. We're past time, man.
I don't care. We had a correction from our number one listener.
Ken Pletz?
Yeah. It was getting to him that he had to call in and let us know. It was where is it? Number whatever. It was Edie. What's her name?
Edie. It's like number 8.
Is it number 8? Number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. Yeah, Edie Brickwell.
Oh, well, okay. Cool. Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you, Ken.
I've been waiting 6 months for a sign that this is not a farce. I'm sick of having to read between